All right, got a lot to cover, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're going to jump into, well, first and foremost, want to give God all the glory, all the praise for an opportunity to step into this abundant stock market. It has infinite possibilities, and I want to address the scarcity mindset. We need to reject that, meaning that every trade has the potential to produce profits or losses. And with that being said, 25% strict discipline seriously is the discipline that I encourage. And with that being said, I'm going to take us to Hebrews 12:6. For the Lord disciplines the ones he loves and chastens everyone he accepts as his son or daughter. It's a son, but this verse emphasizes that divine discipline is an expression of God's love aimed at training and spiritual growth rather than punishment. And this translates to me because I take the scriptures and I try to apply them to every aspect of my life, including trading. This is my job. This is what I do to support myself, pay my bills, and live a lifestyle that is healthy. And so the rules protect us. So when I say 25%, that protects us. Following the smart money roadmap protects our capital. It gives us an edge. So we need to follow the system, even when it's uncomfortable. I've updated the system. It is, wow, it's fire. It is a complete breakdown of market structure, price action, institutional zones, dealer positioning, support levels, resistance levels, what we should expect through quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4, what we're looking for, interactions at each price level, acceptance, rejections. It lets us know when our trade is safe. And I want to make sure that I am able to provide the information needed and necessary on how to manage risk. I'll go into it briefly. We establish our thesis. We place our strikes behind support levels. And when we see price accepting or rejecting away from our support levels, then we're safe. When we see the support levels that protect our price be rejected, or in some cases accepted, and price reverses and start coming towards our strike, if we are positioned behind a support or resistance level and that level gets lost, the first 5-minute candle that has breached the support level of our strike, we should cut the trade. The thesis is invalid. So what I'm getting at is cutting invalid theses faster, sooner, quicker, minimal loss, if any. I'm going to let that sink in for a second. It is an important topic that we address, so our losses are not substantial. So I am back to the practice of cutting plays and trades as soon as the thesis is invalid. That's discipline. Hope is not a discipline. And that's not how we're going to execute or play the game. The answers are right in front of us, whether we should hold or cut. And breaking those rules is a rejection of growth. So we don't want to do that. We don't want extreme discipline in the sense that we're getting chastised by God and the stock market. Okay, so with that being said, let's just get right into the market structure as we see it right now. But before I do, I need to hit the disclaimer. I'm sharing this for informational purposes only. It is my own proprietary system as a result of my own research, and it's a strategy that I use in my own real account. While it's a principle-based strategy, the strategy is subject to change. By sharing my trading activities, it's not a solicitation from me to buy or sell securities for others. Trading involves risk with possible loss of principal. Sharing my live trading sessions should not be construed as investment advice. All right, so we are going to take a look at the Smart Money Roadmap, execution intel. All right, so how did I get this? Well, I got this, after Friday. I had a lot of questions about what we saw. Price went parabolic, and we're wondering when it's going to turn around and stop. Well, that's not the thing. That's the wrong mindset. We need to, and I'm adjusting, my trading strategy right now. I did it on Friday. I did it all weekend, and now I'm proclaiming and professing that I will not be going against the bias of the market in any trade. I have determined that that's more of a predictory, like I don't even know if that's a word. However, that's more of an anticipation and a prediction of where, I'm looking for price to reverse or what have you. Friday had a lot of fake reversal signals. So that was not cool. So I am trading with the bias at all times or no trade at all. With that being said, what we do is we take it level by level. So the Smart Money Roadmap execution intel that I posted in the thread is a result of me taking a screenshot of the ES, a screenshot of the SPX on the 5 minute, and I took screenshots of open interest, 50 levels up, 50 levels down, and I submitted that to Grace, my AI agent, and she produced what you are able to see in the text thread, the execution intel, the Smart Money Roadmap update. And it has all the details we need. I'm not going to go into all the details, but I did highlight a couple things. Um, I highlighted the volume. Oh my goodness, it was 3.18 billion. Okay, that's a huge amount of volume. Then I went to the institutional zones. I looked at the demand zones. I looked at the resistance zones. I highlighted because those are key. That's what we want to see to determine whether or not price will continue to run. So when price gets to, for example, I'll start with the demand zone. price is in the demand zone and it goes higher, well, that demand zone is no long is has been claimed, and now price is going to attempt to push to the next level. So the next level, for example, let's go on the price continues to go upside. Okay, so price claims uh, 7150 through 7158, then we can look at a test of the next level, which in this case, market is mixed, with the S&P 500 up 0.8%, the Nasdaq Composite Index up 1.6%, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 0.2%. SPX and SPY update. Okay, gotta let Georgia go through all her announcements. The market is mixed today. But continuing, if the demand zone at 7150, 7158 is claimed and accepted, then we look at the next level. So if we have a put below, say, 7150, then we look to 7158, price gets claimed there. Well, if we have a put credit spread below that, it's now safer. And so we can actually hold that position until there is a retest at 7158. If price gets rejected at 7158, then we need to consider, like, if we're at 25%, we should just go ahead and take it, especially if the price gets rejected on the retest. However, if it gets accepted and it continues to the next zone, we look to see whether or not it's going to stay at the next zone, if it'll be accepted or rejected, or if it will reverse. Those are the interactions we're looking at in each zone. The zones are marked off as support and resistance levels. If you go down to the quarter one is 6:30 to 8 o'clock. All right, our primary objective is to confirm whether 7163 through 7170 becomes support or a trap. Okay, we don't want to get trapped, right? So we're observing. That's our primary objective, to see if price is able to confirm, accept that price level. And once we're able to identify that, then we can take up a position behind. Once that level is accepted, then we can take a strike position at the support level beneath it, which would be 7150 in this case. I would also target the deltas. The deltas would be, the price, actually. I'm targeting price action. I feel like a safe and credit is from $1.70 to $1.50, maybe even $1.40. So, but definitely $1.50 to $1.70 should be able to get a position behind a support level plus 10 points. Because if that support level that we're positioned behind should get breached, 10 points will give us enough time to exit the trade. As soon as the position gets breached by a 5-minute candle, it's time to exit. That's acceptance of the rejection, and price is subject to breach our strike and thereby increase our losses. So that's how we're going to play defense. Okay, so um, really, I really took some time to focus on defensive trading. The best defense is a good offense, but defense wins championships. True fact. Defense wins championships. Defense protects profits, and that needs to be a high priority. Profit protection, capital protection. Okay, so quarter one, that's the only one I'm going to go into right now, is quarter one. Primary objective, confirm whether or not 7163, 7170 becomes support or trap. It's a bull trigger, meaning put credit spread would be favored if 7163 is held and reclaimed acceptance above 7170 through 7185, 7200 would be the pathway. It's a bear trigger if 7163, so here key zones, 7163 is key. Okay, reject, test, and break 7150, 7146 through 7140 path. Best action, wait for confirmation candle. Um, no chase at the open, so we're just observing quarter one. So that's our quarter one breakdown. The execution intel has the highest probabilities ranked to recalibrate levels after the opening auction. What that means is the levels most likely price will gravitate towards. Bullish control remains valid while SPX holds 7163 through 7165. All right. Uh, So we're not fighting the upside with call credit spread, like I'm saying. We're not gonna guess when price is going to reverse. If that level is claimed, then the put credit spread would be the play of the morning, first play of the morning. And then it has a list of the other probabilities, 65 through 12. Okay, so there's some trade recommendations on there with price behavior being the basis. And then, yeah, I've got a breakdown of the open interest levels on there. So that is what we are looking at. And I'm going to take a break right here. I'm just going to summarize the Smart Money Roadmap Execution Intel. It would be best to take a screenshot, as we always do, on the 5-minute SPX, on the 5-minute ES. Take a screenshot of the Smart Money Roadmap Execution Intel, and put it all together, and you'll get one. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to take a break right here, and I will start the stream back up at 6:30.
No early trades.
Okay, here we go. We are open. Looks like price is starting off at the 71.50 through 71.58 level. We'll see if price is reclaimed here, if it'll hold this level. This is the institutional demand zone, 71.50 through 71.58. And we are primarily observing whether or not 70. Hold on.
Market open. No trades during volatility. Observe only. Q1 smart money psychology lets trick retail into buying so we can offload. Sweep confirmation. Volume confirms sweeps, breakouts, exhaustion. Sweep volume spikes 150 to 220% of the prior 20-bar average. Occurs at or through the previous day's high or previous day's low. Overnight high or overnight low. Sweep completion continued. Occurs at prior liquidity cluster. Single impulse candle, no chop, immediate range rejection or stall after the spike. Breaks key level by 3 to 8 points. A fake sweep, 130% volume, overlapping candles. Price holds above or below with no rejection.
Yes, we're starting to see price kind of stall in this zone right here because um, there's a high amount of contracts here. But that's not to say that it won't go up or down. It's above the VWAP line right now, but that's not confirming that it'll stay above the VWAP line. I have the ES up on another screen, and price is below the VWAP on the ES. So we'll see if price will be respect the VWAP and stay above it, or if it'll go below it. What we're looking for, I'm going to stay strictly on the 5 minute time frame today because it is the most accurate time frame in determining whether or not it's a fake or if it's a true acceptance or rejection. So we're looking for 5 minute candles closing above the VWAP. 5 minutes above means that we have a bullish bearish bull bias. 5 minute candles below means we have a bear bias. We're looking for a V once the VWAP has been claimed. For example, we're looking for a pullback and then 5 minute green candles, and that'll confirm that the bias is bull. Same difference, just reverse on the bear bias. We're looking for 5 minute close below the VWAP, and we're looking for a retest, and it rejects the VWAP. 5 minute closes upon rejection. So I'll review that as this plays out. However, that's first and foremost, that's what we need to establish is the bias. And this is trap time right here. This is where fakes occur, traps occur. So I'm be very cautious And I'm not actually going to even enter a trade right now. As we can see, from 6:30 to 8 o'clock, primary objective is to determine whether or not 7163 through 7170 becomes support or a trap. So we're looking to see what happens first and foremost in this zone that we're in, which price is climbing through. Right, so we get to see if price is going to claim 63. We can turn this one blue. Well, you'll notice that I have the pink and blue lines. Those are, that's the 9 EMA and the 20 EMA. I added that because it can serve as a dynamic support and resistance. So with the EMAs on the screen, we are able to determine if price is being accepted or rejected a lot easier. When blue is on top of pink, it means that the buyers are in control. When pink is on top of blue, it means that the sellers are in control. When they're consolidating like this, that means that it's neutral. I'm going to step away for just a second. Okay, so we're seeing our first sign of resistance as price was approaching 71.70. Oh, this is key. This level right here, 71.63 through 71.60, is our pivot and balance point. Okay, so it looks like there was a huge rejection at 71.70. Let's see if the EMA holds up or if price breaks 61.60. It's actually 61.63. However, that's exactly where the EMA is right now.
First trade window open. Only expansion trades allowed. Displacement is required.
Okay, so we're testing 71.58 right now. And if this level gets broken, then we'll find ourselves at 71.50. which is just about where the VWAP line is. So we'll get a test of the VWAP as well. So we stand down at this moment. There is no trade or play to be made with the uncertainty that we're seeing right now. There, what we're seeing is a lot of fake moves up, and here we come with a move down. However, the probability has not been established. Once we get a test of the VWAP at this point, price isn't going to go parabolic right out the gate. Right, we're getting a wick down at 71.54. However, the level has been breached. So price is headed towards the VWAP. See what happens at 71.50 if we'll get a bounce. And with that being said, I'm going to take a look at other support levels. We've got a support level. It says 71.46 through 71.40. However, I was already considering the 7140. We'll see. Okay, so prices has broken the support level at 7150. It's touching there. Wick is getting smaller. Let's see if it accepts 7150 or continues the downtrend. From 7140, the next support level is in the 7112 to 7106 prior low range failure zone. Okay, so the structure is changing right now. Okay, we've got buyers showing up at 7150. Okay. But again, this is a trap zone. First trade of the day is always the trickiest. So, gonna need solid confirmation before entering the first trade, especially during the 6:30 to 8 zone. The probability of a trap is very high during this time frame. At the open, it's like 70% chance that it's a trap and a fake out. Trap, trick, and frustrate. So this is the time where we just mark levels, especially before 7 a.m. Okay, so we're getting a good buyer's response right now. Let's see if 7158 will be reclaimed. Looking for 2 5-minute closes above 7163 before the bias is confirmed. Notice how we got a red candle immediately after price pushed. Yes, I am going to create a probabilities worksheet every day. It helps in the interpretation of where price is going, and we can look at the we are able to, yeah, highest probabilities. I mean, that's what we um, trade is probabilities, and it helps with our trade logic. So the EMAs, the blue 9-day EMA and the pink 20-day EMA, you can see are angled up. So at that point, we can use them as support. So that's a good indicator that the buyers are showing up at the 7163 level, um, waiting for this candle to close. Price did attempt to claim 7170, which is 58% to be tested. We'll see if it's reclaimed early and if the buyers are going to defend it. That would be the first upside confirmation trigger, is if 7170 is claimed. Then 7150 will become a major downside support if price should pull back, which is where I would place my put credit spread below 7150 only after we get confirmation that 7170 will hold. I would most likely at that point go as tight as 7145, and if 7163 gets rejected, then I would seriously consider cutting the trade, because the next test would be 7158, and if that gets breached, then price would come towards my strike at 7145. So that's how I'm thinking in terms of risk management. However, if we see confirmation right here, but we're still in the trick trap frustrate zone, because now we have a wick touching 7163. So the sellers are appearing. However, on my screen, you can see how the 9 EMA is holding as a support level. I'll be using the 9 EMA and the 20 EMA here on out to be key studies in determining whether or not support and resistance is being accepted or rejected. So I'm testing this level. Oh, I'm testing it. I'm analyzing this level just as I would if price was at or on the VWAP. 5 minute closes above this level, not touching it with wicks, but full body candles above 71.63. That would mean this price level has been accepted. Right now, that's undetermined. Yeah, that's pretty good trade logic, if I do say so myself. But we're committed to excellence, right? So we're seeing consolidation right here. Right now, that's not a bad sign. That is what we're going to call the neutral compression BWIC. That is on the second page of the Smart Money Roadmap Execution Intel probabilities, trade setups, and decision rules. So I'm taking a look right now at the neutral compression BWIC. Requires price to pin 71.65, 71.85, which is about what we're seeing right now. The VWAP, EMAs flatten, no clean trend expansion. Put side below 71.50, 71.40. Call side above 7,200, 7,225, depending on distance and credit. Target 15 to 25% faster exit. Do not overstay in fourth quarter if range breaks. No trade if short strikes sit inside active liquidity path. All right, that's a lot of words to say that a neutral compression BWIC is looking like the play at the moment as we are compressing in this zone. We're between 71, I'm going to go ahead and call it 71.63 and 71.85, although 71.70 has not been claimed. So we've gotten 5 minute closes at this level right here. RSI is neutral. TTM squeeze is showing compression. Volume has decreased. So I'm going to take a look at a neutral compression condor. Again, safe as can be because the earliest trade is always the trickiest, and I don't want to be in this trade all day. So it is a fast 25% exit. Not going to overstay. Just going to take a look at it right now. Yeah. Looks like I'm going to take this trade. We're getting some pretty good compression right now, and I'll just manage the hell out of it. Uh, where am I? What am I thinking here? I'm thinking, I'm thinking 71.45. Okay, just as I'm thinking that, we're seeing price break 71.61. See if we get a confirmed pullback and price reclaims the level. Let's see if we'll see how strong 7160 is. And 7150 is identified as a major downside support. Short puts should stay below 7150. Okay, so price did pull back from the looks of things to 7160. So that level is being respected. However, that does cause me to move my puts back a little bit to 7140. Gives me time to react. Credit is not that good. So above 7200, let's look on the call side. Want to leave upside. All good. Today's going to be a pretty long day. Leaving room to the upside, tight on the put side. Looks like as tight as looks like the 745 put, and anything comes close to that, it's it's get it get it get it gets cut. I can barely even say it. Enter when the price breaches the support level. You have to exit. You have to exit that trade when that support level gets breached. Not gonna hope that it doesn't touch the strikes. We're just going to cut it. Better to assume that it will hit the strike once the support level protecting the strike is breached. Looks like the same with the calls. Same with either level. Yeah, it looks like the BWIC's gonna have to be pretty tight and managed close. And this is looking like good compression right here. Um, 85, no. I'm gonna put that at 90. Alright, so got the condor filled. 71.45 through 71.90. Gonna go ahead and set that limit price and let's see. Okay, got the limit price set. Got 165 for it. Limit price is set for the buyback at 120, and that's done. And we're just going to manage it. As long as 7150 does not get lost, it's good. Should 7150 get hit, and then a 5-minute candle forms underneath 7150, I'll cut it. So the risk management is on point. That's the defense.